Hello, Chicago Bears fans. Welcome to the Bears Den podcast number 55. We have a great show lined up for you guys tonight. We're going to talk about the impact of the Micah Parsons trade and what it will have on us. We're going to talk about our expectations and predictions for the upcoming season. And as always, please follow us, like us, subscribe to us, tell all your friends and family about us, share our content. You can find us on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram. Now, let me introduce the rest of the Bears in the den. We have the superstar Todd and the bad guy, Chicago Clarence. What's up, guys? How's it going?
What's going
Good?
on?
Medium?
Everything great.
Yeah,
Great.
my neighborhood's on fire. Other than that, I'm all right.
Yes, Todd is having a tractor fire. What's up, Arthur? How are you, man? We're going to have you back on. Don't worry. We ain't forgot about you. So, guys, let's get right down to it. Micah Parsons trade. Todd, we'll start with you. What impact is this going to have on us? Because when I'm looking at the other team's defense, everybody has an elite edge. Minnesota's Grenard and Van Ginkel. The Lions have Hutchinson. And Green Bay, of course, just landed Parsons. So in light of the talk yesterday about his back being whatever words you want to use, what are your expectations with this Micah Parsons trade? How's it impact us?
I think it was a L4, L5 sprain, right? And I know what those numbers are. I've had several back surgeries now, but well, look, you don't want anybody to be hurt. I mean,
yes, we do.
Well,
yes, we do. No, just joking.
I don't know how many games he averages a year. I do think he misses some time. So, that maybe he just misses the right games, and that'll be good for us. Maybe it'll soften that defense interior up with that trade too. So, but it's a lot of money, especially if there's going to be injury concerns. It's a lot of money. We got a lot of money tied up in a handful of players. Poles gets a lot of heat, and I tend to defend him too much. But fiscally, he's been pretty sound, in my opinion. Anyway, I don't know. We may have drafted poorly in the middle rounds. It's looking like if you look at 3 or 4 years together. But the worst part of that deal is it's financially straining on them in like years 3 and 4 when. If he does have injuries, he's that could be bad. So, I don't want to say McKinney's hurt and they paid him a bunch of money in free agency, and I'm not going to say that their quarterback has a rebuilt thumb, but I think that's right. I think I read that somewhere. So, I don't know, but hopefully he'll be healthy enough and just miss our games.
So, Chicago Clarence, what do you think? I mean, it's no secret we need help at edge. Now that Booker's been moved to IR, they're saying he's not coming back until Washington. They're going to let the bye week play out. He's not coming back till Washington. So we're got super thin at edge real quick. So in light of yesterday's move, should we or should we not have made the move?
To get Parsons?
Correct. Knowing what we know now, that he has maybe a bad back, maybe he doesn't. Who knows what the truth is?
I mean, it's a lot of things that play here. He took a physical.
Right.
If all of this was going on, then how did he pass the physical? I'm not sure some of this stuff is just being played out to make one side look better than the other, because you have to appease your fans with moves like this. A lot of people might not be happy about that money. If the guy can pass a physical, then my feelings on it don't change. I wish we had been a player in the sweepstakes for Micah Parsons, because I think that edge rusher and left tackle are going to be the two positions that's going to determine our season. Now, we all know that every team's quarterback has to play well. That's a given.
Right.
But, the team that we play week 1 is starting a rookie, and our quarterback is in his second year with his third head coach. So, those positions are going to play heavy factors on what kind of season we're going to have. And I know we're going to discuss that later. But the edge rusher is a position that I have been screaming about the whole offseason, and my feelings on it has not changed.
No, I mean, I agree with you. When now knowing the news yesterday, I'm kind of glad we didn't do it. First off, no team is perfect. I agree with you, Keith. I mean, every team is going to have a need yet. Every team. I don't know if you can say any team in the NFL would be completely 100% happy right now. I agree with that. Keith also said fans will constantly complain. Yeah, I mean, I know I'm never happy unless we're winning all the time.
So the IR is 4 weeks on Booker, right?
Right. And
so our fifth week is our bye week. So that's
Right.
as soon as he could come back anyway. Plus he gets an extra week there because of the bye week. So that's nice. But still, listen, I mean, I wasn't anti Zadarius Smith, but just said that hey, there's some locker room issues possibly, and Ben Johnson, but we're that thin. You got to at least inquire about these guys, right? And it's a lot of experience. He may be slow or whatever else, but those guys in the locker room, they need to see somebody who's been successful, and I know Clowney's over the hill too, and was here in Charlotte recently, but from what I can tell, he's still available. Why aren't you bringing in one of those guys on you throw $4 or $5 million? We have the money, right? I unless they really, really believe they're going to get pressure up the middle.
So, Clarence, would you entertain the thought of bringing in Zadarius Smith or Clowney at this point? I feel like if they were going to do it, they'd have done it by now.
They're
Well,
not.
I mean, like I said before, and I hate to remind people, I am usually right about the points that I make because the things that I say, there is definitely some sound decision making behind it, But let's go to Booker for instance.
Mm-hmm.
Why is Booker hurt? Because we had him out there on special teams
right.
in a preseason game, and he plays a position that we know we're not deep at. So why in God's name would you have him out there on special teams in a preseason game? And now he's lost to you for 4 to 6 weeks. So that's kind of the decisions that I'm talking about. We have got to get out of the muck of making decisions that cost us. And I'm not talking about regular decisions. I'm talking about common freaking sense. You don't have a guy that's in line to be your number one backup at a position you are thin at. You're going to be counting on him to go get the quarterback. Kevin, did you watch the Kansas City game? Did you see what happened to us when we were unable to get pressure on the quarterback? I'm a Notre Dame football fan. Did you watch that game Saturday night? Did you see what happens to a good defense when you can't get the quarterback on the ground? You get picked apart. That's what I'm worried about for the Chicago Bears. So if you're asking me, do I think we should make a run at Zadarius Smith? I absolutely do. The guy had set 9 sacks last season. And I don't know how many quarterback pressures. I happen to think quarterback pressures should generate more attention than a sack because those usually force the quarterback into decisions to where he throws the ball to the other team. So we need somebody to get help on the quarterback, get pressure on the quarterback. Right now, I don't see that guy on the roster. Now, the season can start. Dennis Allen can show us what his base defenses and stuff is going to look like, and maybe we are able to generate pressure. But right now, it's one of the positions that worry me.
Yeah.
Yes, the edge does worry me a lot. I'm not sure what we're going to do because Booker was our top backup. I don't know how much faith I have in Hardy and Robinson coming off the bench. And Keith, they're saying Booker is not coming back to after the bye. Because as Todd just said, the first 4 weeks we play someone, then we have a bye week 5. So he's not coming back.
It's our fifth
6.
Yeah, it's our 5th game, but it's technically week 6. Yeah.
Keith also said they got their eyes on free agency. I think we do too, but I feel like if we were going to sign somebody, we would have done it.
Right. I mean, those veterans love to skip camp, and I understand that. But still, you bring the guy in maybe the last week of camp, and you just go through the playbook a little bit with him, and you put him on a snap count, same as Jared, honestly. And I mean, unless they've got faith in Dom, Rob.
Yeah, I don't have much faith in Dominique Robinson. He's been here how many years, and he's just – I know we drafted him because of potential, but he's He's never lived up to it. He's never been able to do it. So, guys, I mean, as you heard today, I'm just going to gloss over. Braxton Jones was named our starting left tackle. I know none of us are happy with that. I guess it kind of is what it is. We were hoping somebody would emerge. Trapillo did not. He quickly got moved to right tackle. Benedict looked like his top competition. I mean, left tackle now worries me because we got Grenard twice, Hutchison twice, and then we have Parsons now twice. So how much does left tackle worry you going into the season, guys?
Hell, it's the only position that worries me more than the edge rusher. I ain't never been a Braxton Jones fan. And you don't even have to, if you don't believe me, look at the tape. That will tell you. I have never been a Braxton Jones fan. My only saving grace is the fact that he is in a contract year. Maybe that lights a fire under his ass. I don't know. But I look at him, he's on the ground too much to be your left starting tackle. I mean, I'm sorry. That position worries me. I am hoping that they run the ball a lot more than they have in past seasons, and I'm hoping that Caleb Williams, which we already know he's being coached on, he's got to get rid of the ball.
So Todd
can't hold on to the ball back there.
So Todd, I'll let you answer this question from Keith. Why are we keeping Homer on our roster? He's been here 2 years. Why is he still on our? I know one big factor is special teams.
Yeah, that's the only factor. That's it.
Yes.
Supposedly he's a special teams ace. We've been, he came in and we were told he was a special teams ace, and I don't know. They're convinced that he is, and so that's the only reason.
Yeah.
I don't know how he is in pass pro. That's important to this team, so maybe he's adequate in pass pro, but not my first choice.
And our guest on our show previous week, Arthur, says he's very worried about left tackle position. Yeah. I think it's safe to say we are very worried about the left tackle position. So, guys, today, after the captains got named, I say there was no surprise. Caleb Williams, Thuney, Byard, Jarrett, Santos. Anybody you disagree with, guys, should or should not have been named? I'd say they hit the nail on the head.
Yeah.
I mean, you could argue Byard's not the most talented guy in the secondary, but he is the grizzled vet.
I think had Edmonds been the captain over the last couple of years,
yeah,
I think he was. And
I mean, you can make the argument maybe T.J. Edwards should have been. But I don't know who you would have taken off.
There's a rotational captain on top of that, so if they have a big week, then they can wear C on their jersey.
Clarence, you disagree with or agree with it? I mean, Grady Jarrett and Joe Thuney, I thought were going to be automatics. Sure. I mean, Jarrett's been really talking the guys up, trying to lead by example, and Thuney's doing the same thing. I thought they were the perfect choices. And the quarterback's almost always the captain by default, if he's got the C on his chest or not.
Always has to have the quarterback. Always has to be a captain. If you are on the team where your quarterback is not the captain, then I will suffice to say you're not on a very good football team.
You don't have a quarterback.
Yeah. So Tootney and Jarrett being captains I think are shoe-ins, and I'm very happy that they are, because those are the guys that, I mean, we need people in the locker room that's going to help keep guys accountable. And no one keeps you more accountable other than yourself than your peers. And those people have to be respected. And Jarrett's been talking the talk ever since he got here. So I'm just hoping that, his words and his voice carries a lot of weight within the locker room. We'll see. We need grizzled veterans like that for players, such as Stevenson. We need people to kind of keep these guys, under wraps and trying to help them channel their energy and their emotions to where it doesn't cost us.
You're right. It just always falls back on Stevenson.
So I'm glad you brought up Stevenson, Clarence. I can't find any report that JJ was cleared today. Todd, how worried are you about Jalen Johnson taking the field Monday night now? I mean, there was talk he was going to try to get cleared, but I can't find nothing on the internet that says, hey, he's a go.
Yeah, I think he'll play. I mean, they're not going to – I mean, unless just comes out of nowhere and they throw an IR tag on him, and then that's bad. But no, I read earlier today that he was hoping to get cleared to practice today, but I didn't see anything in the afternoon. So, but I didn't look. but I didn't see anything.
I mean, Clarence, how worried are you about JJ not playing him? I know we don't have Addison; he's suspended. We still got an all-world receiver in Jefferson. We're still gonna need all the help we can get just to cover him. Concerned, not concerned.
Even if Jalen plays, we're gonna have to double Jefferson. I just think that's the smart play because even if Jalen plays, he's not going to be 100%. So we're gonna have to. We can't just put him on Jefferson and forget about everybody else. We're gonna have to take Jefferson away. We need to roll the safety over the top of Jefferson and just kind of like quote unquote double team him. But as far as him not being cleared to play yet, it's only Tuesday. We don't play till Monday. We by default we get an extra day. They don't have to play their hand right now, and I think that's kind of by design. They need to keep Minnesota guessing.
Yeah, everything I just looked up said he was hoping to get cleared today, so I don't think it happened. But I expect him to play.
Yeah,
I definitely want him to play. We need him to play. Other than that, I don't know of any other injuries that are still hanging out there that could really dampen our spirits Monday night. So with that, we have not done this yet this year. We want to wait till the preseason started and saw them play, so we'd have some kind of idea what it would look like. So I guess I'll go first and let you two feed off me. Okay. Here's the schedule. I'm not going to break it down game by game. Las Vegas has us at 8.5. So if you were betting money, you had to go one way or the other. I looked over the schedule. I got us at 9 wins. I got us beating Minnesota out the gate. I think we just confused the hell out of J.J. McCarthy. That would be my plan. Make that kid show us he can read a defense and knows where to go with the ball. I got us losing to Detroit. I got us winning the next couple of games. Then I got us losing to Baltimore and Cincinnati, beating the Giants, winning Minnesota. No, I got us losing at Minnesota. I got us pretty much winning all the home games in our division, beating Pittsburgh. So I definitely want to beat Aaron Rodgers. I got us losing to my hometown geography team, Philadelphia, where I'm from. And no, I would not go to that game wearing Chicago Bears stuff. I got us losing to Green Bay, beating Cleveland, beating Green Bay at home. Then I got us losing the last two. So who wants to go first? Where you got us at, Todd?
Well, yeah, I think if you can split the division, right?
3-3. That's what I pretty much have.
So that leaves us. So it's Vegas, Washington, the Saints, Ravens, the Bengals.
We got to beat Washington.
The Giants, Pittsburgh, Cleveland. Yeah, I mean, there's winnable games. San Francisco, that's at San Francisco.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're home against the Giants. We're home against the Steelers. That helps. And I guess we're home against Cleveland. So that's
no, we are away at Cleveland.
This just says versus. Okay, all right. Let's see. Yeah, in my mind, we're a 10-win team, but then you break it down. But it's just obviously everything comes down to injuries. But
yeah,
Dallas is a winnable game. At Las Vegas is a winnable game. The Saints should be a win for sure. I don't think we beat Baltimore. And I don't know, at Cincinnati, the Giants, I like the chances there. So, so the Vegas is 8.5.
Yeah, that's the odds.
I'll just take the over and go 9, I guess. But I feel like we should win 10.
I was going back and forth between 9 and 10. Mm-hmm. Dallas, I think we need to show them that Matt Eberflus was an idiot. I think that's one game we got to win. And in Washington, man, they've had our number for how many years? And that embarrassment last year.
That's a big game.
We got to show them that we're not going to take that shit anymore.
How do we end up on the road in Washington 2 straight years? I mean, how does that doesn't make any sense to me.
I don't know. So Chicago, Clarence, where you got it at?
I was really, really wrong last year. I think I underestimated the stupidity of Matt Eberflus, looking at the schedule that we had. And it's hard not to come out with some pause. However, for the sake of keeping up my record of being right,
you're often right.
I'm going to say we're going to win 11 games. I'm looking at the schedule. I mean, I've got us losing to Baltimore, but I've got us beating Cincinnati. I am not
Do you?
afraid of Cincinnati Bengals at all.
Uh,
Let's remember Cincinnati. Yeah, they can score points, but they have a terrible defense. And let's
they
not
do.
forget the offense we're supposed to be able to put on the field.
Yeah, no,
Um,
you're not wrong.
I got us beating Pittsburgh. I got us losing to the Eagles. I got us,
Yeah.
you know, even with all of the chaos that was going on last year and an ineptitude that we had on the headsets with our coaching, we
Right.
still really and
Could
truly
have
we were a
won.
block field goal away from sweeping Green Bay. You know,
Yeah.
we were some mismanaged time on the clock from beating Detroit.
Detroit.
We
Yeah.
should and we should have beat
Washington.
Minnesota, and we lost that game. And Caleb Williams played really well.
And that
So
Washington game should not have happened.
I'm not even counting that, because really and
Yeah.
truly that 99.9% of the time that's a win.
Yeah.
So, you know, if you add all of that up and throw it in the pot and stir it up, I think we come out with a minimum of 10 to 11 wins, but I'm going to go with 11.
Yeah, I mean, I can talk myself into saying, well, there's a rookie in Minnesota. You know, hey, we can beat them twice, and Ben Johnson's our good luck charm against Detroit, right? He knows that team inside and out. So why couldn't we beat
And
them
they don't
twice?
have neither one of their coordinators. Let's not forget that.
Yeah, no, I know. And everybody, you know, the day after the trade was like, oh, Packers are going to win the division. Packers are going to win the division. You know, I don't see that really. I mean, they gave up. You know, they gave up their run stopper. You know, I'm not impressed by them. I just ain't. So I don't know. Maybe we sweep the division. Then that changes everything. Then we win 13, 14 games, right?
So Brian has us at 9 or 10 wins. So Caleb is improving massively, but we need help on the line. Yes, we do. Guys, if you're watching the show, send us your predictions. Arthur, who's been on our show before, he has us at 11 wins. Good. I mean, I'll be glad to be wrong. If we go over that, I'm happy. So, guys, let me ask you this. Clarence, who is winning the NFC North this year? I mean, this is a tough division. No matter how you slice it up, this is a tough division. Like, you can make a case for all four, none of the four. I mean, you can argue all day long. I mean, Minnesota, I mean, and they all have great coaches. Like, we still might have the worst coach in the division, which is scary. And I don't mean that out of disrespect. I mean, look at the coaches alone. They're all MVP type coaches, head coach of the year candidates.
Okay, well,
So, Clarence, winning?
This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go through these teams, and I'm going to tell you why the Chicago Bears wins this division. Number one, let's start with the Minnesota Vikings. You're starting with a rookie quarterback.
I agree 100% on that one.
So you just don't know what you get, and that's that's the straw that stirs the drink. If your quarterback is not up to snuff, then that derails your whole season. And it doesn't matter what wide receivers he has if you can't get the ball to him. Do they have a good sound defense with Brian Flores as their coordinator? Absolutely. But Caleb Williams threw for 300 and something yards and no interceptions against that same defense. If it just wasn't for the fact of the ineptitude that we had on our sidelines. So that's number one. The Green Bay Packers, we don't know what's going to happen with them with this Micah Parsons trade. If Micah Parsons isn't up to snuff, if he has to get injections in his back just to play games, that's a problem. And like you just mentioned, they got a run stuffer. They just gave up their guy. So you're susceptible to have the ball ran down your throat. And we know what's Micah Parsons' weakness? Run the ball at him. He is not good at stopping the run. Only good at going after the quarterback. So, and Green Bay doesn't have good sound weapons. You know, I mean, they look good on paper with Watson and Romeo Doubs, but they're always injured. You never know when they're going to play. When they're going to be okay.
I mean, Dobbs has occasional flares, and Watson's almost a bust at this point. So
I mean, he's fast. He's a speed demon, but you can't count on him. And
they drafted that kid Golden out of Texas. He has a lot of speed, but he's a rookie too. I mean,
he's a rookie too. So I mean, you don't know what you get with that.
Yeah, so, they're counting on big production with him. And
so let me slide over to Detroit. Detroit they lost their best offensive lineman to retirement.
Yes, they did.
Yep, that's true.
They lost both their coordinators, and I don't care what you say, that stuff matters.
It does. We know that as
You
Chicago
know,
Bears fans.
they've had injuries on the defensive line. We don't know if Hutchinson's going to be back. We don't know if he's going to be 100%. So they got a lot of question marks. And really and truly, the only question mark that you have with Chicago Bears is the ones that's always loomed. What are we going to get on the sideline? We had a guy that only turned the ball over 6 times, and he
Yeah.
was mired in inconsistency on the sidelines. We fired our coordinator in this season, and then the head coach got fired as well. And the guy still, I think, all intents and purposes, Caleb Williams had a successful rookie season.
Mhm.
So imagine if you get some kind of consistency. Imagine if you get some common sense with the play calling and from the head coaching position. The sky's the limit for what this guy can do. And then we turn around and gave him more weapons, and we upgraded one of the biggest
Yeah.
weaknesses we had, which is the offensive line. So that is my case for why I believe the Chicago Bears will win the NFC North.
So Arthur pointed out that Ben Johnson's been killing Brian Flores for years. So Todd, who is going to win the NFC North?
I mean, if you were betting and you weren't, the Lions obviously have the best chance going in, but this coordinator situation is
That's
legitimate.
scary that they lost
Yeah.
so much coaching staff.
And their offensive line has been sound and rock solid, and they are losing guys there. Defensively, they're not. I mean, they're average. I think I don't know if anybody would go much further than that. They've got a few players here and there, but I don't know. I think if you look at those teams, Jefferson may be the best player in the conference, right? Offensively,
Yes.
and I guess you would have to say Micah Parsons is Lo Hutchinson is the best defensive player in the conference. But we've never had weapons like we have now, and we haven't had an offensive line this good since
The Bears Super Bowl year,
Or
85.
play
Probably.
caller.
yeah,
Let's
not
forget that.
the Super Bowl year, and not the Lovey Super Bowl year, the
Yeah.
85. I mean, honestly, Braxton Jones has a lot of experience.
He does.
And he's going to have an all-pro player next. If pound for pound, if you had to say who's the best player on this team, it might end up being Joe Thuney. And so that's got to rub off a little bit on him. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
So who's winning the NFC North? Who's your pick?
Lions, I guess, but I'm not happy about it.
Oof, when I look at the NFC North, I mean, this is the toughest division in football. I would argue again, even though except when we get into the playoffs, everybody lost in the first round last year. I mean, Minnesota, I don't know if I could lift a 4,000-yard passer to leave my locker room.
Yeah,
that's something we've never had in Chicago. I would have to think long and hard on that one. I know why they did it. They drafted McCarthy to be the future. Nobody expected Sam Darnold to put up those kind of numbers. Nobody. I mean, Green Bay, yes, they got Micah Parsons, but they gave up Kenny Clark. That to me is a very big deal. Detroit, man, we're going to find out how good Dan Campbell really is, because to lose that kind of coaching staff, I mean, they lost everybody. Coordinators, running back coaches, wide receiver coaches, everybody.
Yeah. Did we just poach Randall L from them? Was
Yes.
there anybody else, or was that the only one really that came with?
And then Aaron Glenn took
somebody
with
went with the guy that took over Glenn.
It was the quarterback
The
coach.
Jets too.
I can't think of his name. Quarterback coach.
He took a couple people with him too.
They retained
Glenn.
their offensive line coach, right? Because we tried to get him, and I think he stayed.
And then we get to us.
Yeah.
To me, it's a matter of all the pieces going to fit into the puzzle finally. Coaching staff, Caleb Williams and his offense, is he going to fit in? Is it all going to work? Is it going to come together? I mean, every team in the NFC North, I would argue, has a question mark, but I would say it's a positive question. It's not a negative.
Mm-hmm.
It's more of a positive side. But if I had to pick a division winner, I have to stay with Detroit. Just like Ric Flair used to say in wrestling, to be the champs, you got to beat the champs. They've been doing it for a couple of years now.
Yeah, I hope Chicago does doesn't win this division, you know I'm gonna swerve on y'all.
Oh, we know it.
Well, I mean, they lose Jared Goff in week 2, then it's a whole different story, right? I mean, I don't even know who their backup was. It was that kid out of Tennessee, but I think he's gone now.
And then Hooker they cut, if I'm
Yeah.
not mistaken.
Yeah, I think that's right.
So, guys, let me ask you, Clarence, who has the most pressure on him this year in the Chicago Bears? Is it Ryan Poles, Caleb Williams, or Ben Johnson? Who's under the most pressure this year out of those three?
Caleb Williams. So that's very easy. It's Caleb Williams.
Todd, who's under the most
Yeah, he's
pressure?
got the most pressure. I mean, they've all got lengthy contracts. I mean, they just re-up Poles. So, look, I'm convinced that if they don't get it together this year, they're going to make the changes necessary to do it. I believe in Johnson. He's been no nonsense since he walked through the door, and I think he's going to hold these guys accountable. And if you aren't gonna play his way, you're going to play for someone else.
So you think this staff has 1 year to prove it?
No. I think that they've got several years. I think that if you're a player that's not gonna, adhere to that system, you're gonna be gone. They're gonna find the right guy. So
yeah, Caleb's gonna be gone before Ben Johnson
and probably I think so too. And probably Braxton Jones might be the first one to find that out. So
I'm
not hurt. He's on the last year of his deal.
He is on the last 2 years. I actually think Ryan Poles is under the most pressure.
Yeah, but he just got a new deal.
I know he did. They all got very lengthy deals, but he's been mediocre. He's another one of those lightning rods. People can say good things about him. People can say bad things about him. And most GMs don't get to hire a third head coach. Like, this is his last chance to produce. And I don't think nobody can forgive him for the Matt Eberflus era. I can never forgive him for that era. So I would argue Poles has the most pressure on him. But on the field, I would say it's just. Yeah, go ahead.
Think about it for a second. Other than the left tackle upgrade, we can all say that the offensive line has been upgraded.
Oh, yeah,
there's
no question.
No reason why Caleb Williams should not take the next step. And if he does not, it ain't going to be on Poles. It's going to be on Caleb. They're going to draft another quarterback. And I think Ryan Poles gets to do that because as critical as I have been of him, and rightfully so, this team does have talent.
It does.
They got to be coached up.
Yeah, and we're gonna, we paid for a coach, but we're historically cheap, and we just signed him, and we would get cheap in that case again. But I mean, if offensive line wise, I mean, you see all the rankings and all that. Best. I think we have the best offensive line in that conference. I don't think there's any question. Detroit did, but I think we do now.
So Arthur
and what about play caller? What about play? Because if Ben Johnson fails as the head coach, we know he can call plays.
Right.
We should be able to put points. We got a guy on the other side who can call defenses. So that's just going to be more and more pressure on Caleb. He's got to produce. And we're not asking for him to take huge steps. I mean, if you give me what you gave us last year, I think we win 10 games.
Yeah, I think we can win if he just slowly climbs. I don't need to see you. Guys, let me ask you something. All this stuff about the 4,000-yard passer. If he doesn't throw for 4,000 yards ever, but we win, my answer is yes. Are you guys okay with that?
Yeah. I mean, it'd be nice not to hear that, without, but I mean, they even like the preseason game against the Bills, they even, I think it was the tight end, our old tight end, the Carolina tight end guy. He even snuck in the Trubisky thing. He had to bring up Mahomes during that. I mean, how many times have we heard that every game? And so now the thing to say every game is, we the only team in the history of the league that hasn't had a 4,000-yard passer. It'd be nice not to hear it, but if we win, I don't care. And if we win, they probably won't say it.
Chicago, Clarence, are we ever going to see a 4,000-yard passer in
Chicago? Absolutely. You're going to see it within the next 2 years easily with Ben Johnson calling the plays.
Yeah, so Arthur, our boy, says Caleb is going to be good. You can already see it. I think Caleb's going to flourish.
Look, he just has to get rid of the ball. These plays where he holds the ball for 6 seconds. I mean, you're just asked. There's not. I don't care how good your line is. It doesn't matter. You hold the ball 6 seconds, you're going down. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
you got to
pretty-
get rid of it.
No, I agree with you. So let's go over to the defensive side. A lot of heat's on Deo already for that contract. Is this defensive line going to get it done with the front four? Because that scares me to death. That Kansas City game, as Chicago Clearance already pointed out, we could not get Mahomes. We couldn't even touch him. Like, we could not do anything with that Kansas City offensive line. So, guys, defensive line is our biggest problem besides the left tackle position. So, Ty, where are you on this D line? You expect this team to succeed, or are you just going to look for Dennis Allen to bring pressure to help out?
Yeah, I'm going to look for Dennis Allen to blitz and
So
try to. I mean, it's going to depend on the matchup, right? If a team is weak up the middle, then probably we have success there, right? Because that's where our strength is. The Deo thing, I don't know. Maybe he'll turn out to be an average player. It's fool's money and fool's gold in free agency. We talk about how much money that is. Just because it's just because he was a free agent. I mean, the money gets insane. Like all we do is complain every week about Braxton Jones. He's going to get paid next year by somebody.
Yes, he is.
Somebody's got to say he started 50 games. We got to pay him $25 million or $22 million, whatever the number is going to be next year, right? For a very mediocre offensive lineman. So it's the same thing. If Deo Adingbo gets $16 million a year as a, could develop into something better, but is an adequate, third, fourth defensive end, then that's the going price for it. If you're choosing to buy one there, and if you can't draft one, if you haven't drafted well over the last 2 or 3 years to have solid defensive ends, then you're going to have to pay that price. It's the Edmonds thing, right? He's been an okay linebacker. Has he been worth the money? No. TJ Edwards has been great. So sometimes you supplement guys down the line, but if you're looking for a true starter to come in and be and put up numbers that a true defensive end number 2, right? You have to draft those guys. You have to develop those guys. Or sometimes you get lucky and get a UDFA that develop, and that happens. So, but if you're having to buy one, you're going to overpay.
So Clarence, first off the bench is going to be Hardy and Robinson till Booker comes back.
Yeah.
That's our defensive end rotation. That scares me. And I think against Minnesota, all I would do is stop the run, and I would force that kid, J.J. McCarthy, to show he can read a defense and he knows to go where to go with the ball. That would be my game plan against Minnesota on defense.
Well,
go ahead.
Half the sacks are coverage sacks anyway, right?
Yeah, they are. So, guys, let's head into our final thoughts. No, actually, let me ask you guys. So, playoffs. Chicago Clarence, we going to the playoffs this year? At 11 wins, we are.
Yeah.
You put us at 11. So you're standing by that.
I think we're going to win the division. I think we're going to the playoffs.
Well, then you're locked in.
Yep. Todd, we going to the playoffs? Our division is so tough. Like, it could be the same thing as last year. All three NFC North teams get in.
We have
one is left out.
We have so many weapons. We had weapons before this last draft, and we took 2 luxury picks of the first 2. We're so deep, and we have this offensive genius, right? I'm gonna have faith. Yeah, we'll get a wild card spot.
So, guys, let's head into the final thoughts. Todd, what are your final thoughts on our Chicago Bears?
It's been an all praise Johnson podcast for me, but I'm watching these guys because but we didn't really believe that they'd spend the money, and make the move. Like, we wouldn't get him. So I think we were hyping up Belichick for a week or 2 or 3 as maybe we should go that way. And I don't want to pick on Clarence's Tar Heels, but that was pretty ugly. So I think they'd never given up any Belichick defense. I don't think had ever given up 48 points before last night. So anyway, just a little shot at them. No, I'm excited about week 1, and let's get that. We need to win one of the first 2. So probably this one's easier than the second one.
I'm glad. After what I saw, I'm glad we did not hire Belichick. Yeah. And the whole circus with his girlfriend. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm honestly glad we stayed out of that one too. So my final thoughts, it's hard to believe that people can go their whole lives and never see their favorite teams win. Like, my biggest sports regret, I've said this to families and friends, is that my grandparents lived their whole life and they never saw the Philadelphia Eagles win a Super Bowl. They saw all the other teams win, all of them, but they never got to see the Eagles win a Super Bowl. Now, obviously, they have won, but they were already passed on. My point of saying this is it's not easy to win. I mean, all 53 players have to be in line, your coaching staff, your trainers, your food people, your front office, your owners. Everybody has to be in line on the same page, and they got to want the same thing. Got to live it, breathe it, die, sweat, blood, tears. They got to do it all. And I think we finally realized that as a franchise. I think the owners heard the fans chanting, sell the team, sell the team. And I think it really ate away at them because they finally spent the money on an elite head coach. And that's what I think he's going to be. I think we have finally turned the corner. And I think we're going to finally trend upwards. For a couple of years, I'm hoping. I'm hoping we have the answer at quarterback and coach. If we don't make the playoffs, but we know when the season's over that we have an elite head coach and an elite quarterback, I'll be happy. If we go 9-8 and we miss the playoffs, I'll be happy with that. If we go 8-9 and we miss the playoffs, but we have an elite head coach and an elite quarterback, I'll be happy. I'm going to be more pissed off if the season ends and we're shit. This quarterback sucks. This head coach sucks. Here we go again on the spin cycle in the washing machine. That's going to piss me off more than anything. So, guys, I do think we finally got it right, and I think we're trending upwards. Chicago Clarence, how's your blood pressure? Notre Dame lost. Tar Heels lost. How's your blood pressure? You were taking pills the other night. How's your blood pressure? Take us home.
Well, I will tell you one thing. If Bill Belichick had the talent that Notre Dame put on the field Saturday night, he wouldn't have lost. I mean, that team has talent, and they got out-coached. Last night, what we saw with him in Chapel Hill, it's just a product of him going to college from the pros, and it's a different animal. You got to be able to recruit, and these days in time, buy talent. It's going to take some time. You can't judge him after one game. Did they look bad?
No,
Absolutely.
You can't.
I'm just giving you a hard time about it.
They are definitely, they don't have the talent that is going to be required to win consistently, especially at the clip that he's accustomed to doing so. I still would have taken Belichick in Chicago because he's a proven guy at the head coach position. We know Ben Johnson can do one thing. We know he can call plays, but we do not know that he can coach.
No,
and that's
we don't.
going to be a mystery. He's going to have to be able to prove that. With that being said, like you, Andy, I'm at the point to now, not just win. I want to see the Chicago Bears start operating like a franchise, like a competent franchise. And there are things that I have been very critical that they don't do off the field that I would like to start seeing them be able to do. And it just goes hand in hand. Be a well-ran franchise. And it all starts with winning and losing. We're going to see this year if that's going to equate to that. I humbly believe that they're going to start winning this year simply because they are better at the positions that has kept them from winning.
We are.
Quarterback, offensive line, head coach, offensive play caller. The only thing that we have consistently been able to do for most of the time, we've been good on defense and we've been average to good on special teams. But we ain't never had a guy that can call plays consistently the way that Ben Johnson can. And we ain't Never had a guy who could spin the ball and have the talent that Caleb Williams has. Don't get me started on Fields. You know I'm a Fields lover, but still, I still think that we are equipped to win games, even in this division, if we have a competent play caller and a competent head coach. I expect to see that this year.
So with that, guys, thank you for watching us. Thank you for the comments. And thank you, Dennis Campbell, for the graphics you sent me. You will see them on our Facebook page. And Sunday night, we're going to be doing a collaboration with the Skull State of Mind. We're going to get some Minnesota Vikings input into our show. So with that, thank you for watching. You can find us on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram. Until next time, guys, peace and bear down.
Bear down.
See you guys Sunday.
Yeah.